Of course, we all know what is on the mind of Mr. Market this morning. What will the Fed do, and what will Chair Powell say this afternoon about the future? Well, ADP gave us some good news, almost perfect, in fact. The China car makers have proven that the EV revolution is not even close to being on pause. Business seems strong, and November is the second best month of the year for making money on stocks. Elon just had pineapple and anchovy pizza with Joe Rogan. Let the fun times begin. And good times are happening so far in the market with a sea of green, even for 10-year bonds, though just up a little bit, with yields, of course, being down. Tesla leading the indexes and its Mag 7 peers up over 1% in the early going. I mean, it's going to be a great day. This is Randy Kirk. You know what to do. Hit the like and the subscribe and the notify business, because we saw and we have big shows coming up today, but my day started off well also because we saw a lovely order for 10 Cybertruck bottle openers. And that was just one of multiple orders. So come on now, join the fun. We need you to get into the Cybertruck bottle opener game and give them away to your best buddies. Anyway, but we did see also that I have a program coming up today in the middle of the day where I'm going to talk about the fifth largest economy in the world and how that economy is doing with the overall EV business and how we can use that as kind of a precursor, something that we can extrapolate from with regard to the rest of the world. Hopefully this will be a balanced look, but I'm going to take a look at all the positives and negatives of Tesla and EVs and how that balances out. And I'll probably end up being optimistic, but I'm going to try to be balanced. Anyway, and then later in the day at about 5 o'clock, 5:10, somewhere around there, California time, we'll come back and we'll talk about what did Chair Powell say and how did it affect the pre-market. And that's my regular show now. Still thinking about who's going to be my co-anchors or whatever you call them on that show. But stay tuned for now. It'll just be me. And later on, we'll be adding some additional talent or some talent, maybe the beginning of talent. Anyway, join Patreon, and then you get a free Cybertruck bottle opener. Okay, ADP reported. See, things are already starting out well. ADP reported that companies added 113,000 workers for the month. That was higher than the 89,000 in September, which was extremely low and shockingly low, surprised everybody. But that was because the previous month had been shockingly high. And so these numbers, I don't know. Anyway, but it was below the estimate of 130,000. That's way below the estimate of 130,000. So the ADP number, again, if you're new to the show, the ADP number is not nearly as important as the number coming Friday from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, but it is important. According to Neela Richardson, the chief economist at ADP, no single industry dominated hiring this month, and the big post-pandemic pay increases seem to be behind us. In all, October's numbers painted a well-rounded jobs picture. That's lovely. And while the labor market has slowed, it's still enough to support strong consumer spending. So annual wage growth from ADP stood at 5.7% in October. That's year over year. That's down from 5.9 in September. And this pay data is based on salaries of almost 10 million individual employees over a 12-month period. So that is still too strong for the Fed, 5.7, but it is going in the right direction. And it's much higher than any other stat that we've recently seen on pay increases. Most people have the pay increases year over year at around 4 to 4.5%, which is closer, but not quite where the Fed would like to see it, at somewhere around 3%. Treasury quarterly refunding statement was about as expected. So, the Treasury has to refund. Once a quarter, they give this analysis where they talk about how they're going to do that. Are they going to use mostly longer bonds? Are they going to use mostly shorter bonds, shorter term? How much additional bond how much are they going to be doing more than last quarter or less than last quarter, et cetera? But anyway, so the Treasury Department said this morning they'll be accelerating the issuance of bonds. Yes, duh. And basically, it was a mix of 3-year and 7-year and 30-year, if I remember correctly. I didn't write it down. I think that was right. So, but there was no surprises there. Okay. And so the bond market is up this morning, meaning the yields are down. Jordan Giesecke of the Limiting Factor, somebody highly respected in the Tesla community for his reporting on everything to do with batteries and battery chemistries in the future, and where they're going to get the raw materials and everything. If you don't follow Jordan, you should be. He sounded exuberant in a Spaces meeting yesterday, and Jordan is kind of a level guy. I mean, most of the time, you listen to him and you're like, okay, everything's fine, but it's not great, it's not horrible, it's right in the middle. Anyway, he was exuberant. He thinks 4680 production is doing really, really well. He's very excited. Okay, then we got Volvo reporting that their BEV sales share almost doubled in Q3 above what it was in the same period in 2022, increasing 111% year on year with a 13% BEV share. Well, there you go. See, somebody's selling lots more BEV cars. Oh, margins for electric cars were 9% for those folks. Li Auto sold 40,422 electric vehicles in October, the 7th straight record monthly high. Sales surged 302% versus a year earlier and up 12% over September's 36,000. Li also sold 105,108 EVs in the third quarter, up 20% from Q2. NIO deliveries came in at 16,000, up 59.8% versus a year earlier and 2.8% versus September. NIO sold 15,642 electric vehicles in September and 55,000 in Q3, up 135% quarter over quarter. Okay, Xpeng sales sold a record of 20,000 vehicles in October, finally topping the late 2021 peak. Deliveries surged 292% versus a year earlier. Oh, yeah. So this is on top of excellent sales increases on BEVs that I reported last night from Stellantis. And of course, we know BYD's numbers were good. So overall in China, the CPCA expects 8.5 million EVs to be sold for the full year, led by Tesla rival BYD. That would be up about 31% from 6.5 million in 2022. So where's the pause? I'm looking for the pause. So all this news came out within about 24 hours, 36 hours. Maybe this will begin to put a little bit of a change in the tone out there with regard to the future of BEVs. Pejy, who sometimes he calls himself at Curious Pejy, Pejjy. He makes a very good point this morning. I've been noticing him. You might want to follow this guy. He's got some interesting things to say on many, many mornings. He says that energy profits for the first time at Tesla will be hitting or surpassing 1 billion this year. No, they'll definitely be surpassing it. He lays it out this way. In the first quarter, it was 168 million. Second quarter went from 168 to 278. And then the third quarter went from 278 to 381. And we can expect it to be over I'm going to say maybe over 500 million in the fourth quarter. And next year, I've got it down for 2 billion, at least doubling this year. So let's take a look at where we are on the stock market at this point today. We are almost exactly where we were when we started. Tesla is up 1%. The Dow Jones is up 0.9%, 0.09%. The NASDAQ is up half a percent. And the S&P is up 1/3%. Apple and the rest of the Magnificent Seven are doing all just fine this morning. In fact, at this point, some of them are doing better than Tesla, where Tesla was doing better than them earlier, but it's all in the same ballpark, all tending higher this morning. And then we got surprisingly, this is odd. Don't know why, but all the Cathie Woods, except for CRISPR and PayPal, are in the red this morning, and a couple of them significantly. So why are the Cathie Wood? That's odd. I need to check on that later today. Maybe I'll give you an update if I find something that's causing all that. All right, let's see now. Let's take a look. We've got the Bitcoin slightly up 34.5 overall. We have got the dollar. Well, the yen had hit all-time lows, and so against the dollar, the yen is rising a little bit, a little profit or a little bargain hunting this morning, but overall the dollar is doing fine. Gold down $1, but 1993, so it's gone back down under that 2000 kind of round number issue, and it's been down for a couple of days now. So a little bit of a flight, not into safety or something. Oil is up $2, but it's still sitting at only $83. Perfect. Love it. That's exactly where we want it to be. Bonds are now down 4 basis points to 4.835, well under 4.9 now. And that's the direction we want to see it going. Let's see what the other. So the 2-month is down barely, almost, I would call it flat. The 2 years down 2 basis points. And again, the 10-year down 4 basis points. So those are all good. So yeah, I would say overall, you couldn't ask for a much better morning at this point. So don't forget to join me at midday. Remember, we're going to be talking about the 5th largest economy in the world. Why the 5th largest economy in the world? Because it has a good story. It has an interesting story to tell us about Tesla and about BEVs in general that I believe you can take and extrapolate to the rest of the planet. And then I'll be doing the second half of that story will not just be about that 5th largest economy, but it'll be just looking at Tesla overall as a company and balancing out the good and the negative and seeing how does it really look? What's the reality here, as opposed to where the market narrative is? What's actually happening at Tesla, and should we be as enthusiastic as ever, or should we be a little cautious? Exactly where should we be right now? And then, of course, later on at around 5 o'clock Pacific, you want to absolutely come back, because we want to talk about what did Chairman Powell say and how did the markets react to what the chairman had to say. We've got a lot more information, lots more stuff coming this week. We've got Apple earnings tomorrow, and we've got, of course, the employment numbers on Friday. Cathie Wood will be speaking as usual on Employment Friday on Friday night, and that means that Larry will not be joining me in Good News Friday. He'll be joining me Saturday morning to talk about what Cathie Wood had to say, because that is always, not only is it extremely interesting to hear from Cathie, but that is super interesting to hear what Larry Goldberg has to say about what Cathie had to say. And maybe it might be a little interesting what I have to say about what Cathie had to say. So one more time now, join Patreon. I'm putting up the news all morning long, all afternoon, all day, sometimes middle of the night. I'm putting up stuff on Patreon. Thank you so much for all the folks that have joined Patreon in the last few days. It's very, very helpful, as you know, for any of us, for everybody that's in the business that I am, providing you with information to help us out by helping to produce the show. $5 a month, $10 a month. If you're not getting $5 a month worth of the show, I understand that. But even if you're getting way more than $5 worth of entertainment value, at least from the show, and you can't afford $5 a month, do not send a dime. Okay, please. Now, you can get one of these for free if you join at the $10 level, and only do the $10 level if you can afford it. And otherwise, send $25 for one to PayPal.me/Randy Kirk, all in lowercase. Okay, $25 for one, $45 for two, $65 for three. See, the price keeps getting lower per unit when you buy more. And then for 10, it's $220. Okay. Then you got to add $20 if you're not in the country. Any one of those levels, you need to add another $20 if you're not in the country. And then finally, tell me, do you want stainless steel or do you want the camo version? Now, if you don't want if you want to join Patreon and you don't want you don't want to, I don't know why not, but if you don't want one of these, you can always get the audio version of the Elon Musk mission or the Elon Musk method. And if you want one of the books, but you don't want to join Patreon, you can go on Amazon and buy them there in the audio or in the paperback. That's that's it. Just, oh no, or in the Kindle version. In the Kindle version, it's like $3 or $4. So, you can't go wrong on spending $3 for the Elon Musk mission or method. The method is 4 years old now, but everything in it is still 100% true. The mission is about 80%, maybe about 20% of the Elon Musk mission has happened already. And you're going to be going, yeah, oh, look at that. It's just what they said would happen. There's another 80% in there that is as fresh as when it was written just about a year ago. Totally up to date stuff that you will be shocked to see about aspects of the Elon Musk mission, which is all we talk about in that book. All right, time to shut this down. Looking forward to seeing you a couple more times a day. And it's been great talking to you this morning.